So we're continuing our discussion on data binding in the Dialog component. So one thing I also want to mention here is that if you convert to XBasic, you can see now we've converted this action to XBasic. If we decide that that was a mistake, we can just press the undo button and go back to where it was. So now let's actually go ahead and try this out. So we'll go over to working preview. Then let's quickly go over to our SQL table, and if we double click on the customers, you can see that there's no data currently in that table. So we'll go here and we'll type in say Fred Smith and then hit the submit. We should get an error saying that Smith is not allowed, so we'll go back. So nothing happened at this point. No data was committed to the table because of the error. So if we go look now in our table, we see it is still empty. And so now we correct our error here and type in, say, Jones, and then hit the submit button. And you can see now the data validated. There was no error. A record got entered into the table, and because we said show debugging information, Alpha 5 is actually showing the SQL that it executed. So the first SQL command shown in blue is the actual insert statement, and then the next one shown in green is the automatic refresh that took place after the insert. And the reason that it's important to refresh the data after the insert is that on the server side you might have triggers or stored procedures that execute that modify the data that was submitted, and so the actual data that is in, say for example, the state field or the city field might not be what you submitted because of the trigger, and so we refresh the data based on the primary key so that you can actually see what's currently in the table. So now if we go back and look at the customers table, we can see here that we have one record in this table. So now that we've entered the record, we can go now and start making changes. So I can go here and change this to Abrams, and change this to California, and change this to, say, and then hit the submit button. And you can see now because there's a primary key for the current record, when I hit the submit button, Alpha 5 was smart enough to know that I'm not entering a new record, but that I'm updating an existing record. And you can see here's the SQL, there's the update statement now, and then there's the refresh after the update. And if I go and look at my SQL table here, I can see now that the last name has been changed to Abrams. So the ability to have Alpha 5 automatically generate the SQL for you using server-side action scripting is extremely powerful. Thank you very much.